Head over to BigBadToyStore.com today to find all of your action figure needs. Click the link in the description below. Hey guys, Devall here with a brand new review for ToyWorldOrder.com. You know, it's been a while since we had a chance to review some brand new Captain Action costume sets. And my friends at Round 2 and Captain Action Enterprises were very kind enough to send along early the newest costume sets to grace the Captain Action line. Now these were first available at this past New York Comic-Con this year, and it was the first place you could buy these two costume sets, and they should be hitting stores any time now, really, within the next several weeks of the premiere date of this video. So make sure you're checking out your local Toys R Us's as well as all your local online retailers to find these awesome costume sets. And the costume sets, if I reach down there, I look like I'm old, right? Today, we're going to take a look at not only two brand new costume sets, but also the finalized Build-a-costume figure of Hawkeye. And those costume sets are Iron Man and the Wolverine. Now you can tell from the boxes here that Captain Action, we're no longer getting deluxe box sets. So you're no longer going to have the basic costume sets and the deluxe costume sets. Hence, the Build-a-costume sets are actually going to be included in these regular releases now. They decided to go a different way. They decided to stop making the deluxe sets altogether. Sad for collectors because there was some great stuff included in the deluxe sets, but great for Round 2 and Captain Action, and in the long run great for us as collectors and fans because we'll get more costume sets a lot quicker and more affordable. Plus, we'll get all the extras, for the most part, that come with the deluxe sets, like the Build-a-costume sets, which are really the coolest thing about the deluxe sets. The boxes for these haven't changed from the last sets. They're still very familiar to any Captain Action fan. They're still, you know, you've got your window box here with Wolverine. You've got your great classic vintage comic book artwork. You've got some information on the back, as well as a little bio of Captain Action and Wolverine himself. So some great stuff here on the boxes themselves. And like I said, really no changes from the last basic boxes. Of course, the deluxe boxes were much bigger. But the basic costume sets this is the norm now. This is what you're going to see in stores, both specialty and regular retail at Toys R Us. So this is what you'll be seeing on the shelf, is this one right here. What do you say we pop both of these guys open? Let's get some naked Captain Action dolls. I know it sounds dirty, but it's not. Let's get some naked Captain Action dolls and let's dress Captain Action as Wolverine and as Iron Man. Yes. Let's take a look. Alright, let's take a look at Wolverine first. Now, out of the box, you find a one-piece Wolverine uniform, a pair of boots, an X-Men belt, the Wolverine's hands with claws extended, and not to mention the face mask for Wolvie. Okay, let's put this outfit on one of our prepared Captain Actions here. First, you slide the bodysuit onto the figure body. And next, you pop the boots on his feet. Then place the belt around his waist. The cool thing here is that Round 2 has done something different with the buckles. Instead of connecting via two small pegs and holes, which on the past costumes were always an issue, they now use the nice tab and slot method. You simply slide the tab into the slot behind the buckle. It connects much easier and stays in place much better. Next come the hands, which are also done much better. Inside the hands there are holes, which the pegs at the end of the wrists attach to. Now in the past, the costume hands always seemed to have an issue attaching properly. Well, not these hands. They pop into place perfectly. The great thing about the Wolverine claws here on the hands is that they're made of a hard plastic, so they're kind of sharp, and there's no worry about them bending or deforming or anything like that. To finalize the costume for Wolverine, you place the head mask over Captain Action's head, being careful to line up the slots on the side of the mask with the figure's ears, because if the mask isn't lined up correctly, it really does just look off. The face sculpt of the mask here is awesome, although they chose not to paint the mask's eyes, so they're just plain black. That's really the only drawback to the mask here. There were some issues with the mask sculpts early on in the line, but those are a thing of the past with Wolverine. Also included in the box is the head mask for the Hawkeye Build-a-costume, which we'll get to shortly. And of course, thanks to the articulation in the basic Captain Action figures, you can get Wolverine in a bunch of awesome poses. The Iron Man costume includes the one-piece bodysuit, part lycra and part vinyl here. The suit even has built-in abs. The two-piece plastic chest, a pair of boots, a pair of hands, a belt, and a two-piece mask. Just like with Wolverine, you slide the bodysuit on over the figure, although with this costume it's a bit harder to get on because of the vinyl pieces of the suit. Once on though, it looks really cool. Next, you slide the boots onto the figure's feet, and then pop the hands on. Now one hand here is kind of closed, with a kind of a pointing finger there, while the other is open in the classic repulsor ray blast style that we all know and love. Next, the belt loops around his waist, and like Wolverine's, it features the tab and slot method here to connect the ends. Next, we connect the two plastic chest pieces to the figure. Now all you have to do here is connect them together thanks to the tabs near the neck and shoulders as well as down by the waist. And this is where things get a bit tricky. Because of the way the bodysuit fits on the figure, the chest pieces don't want to connect properly. The suit kind of gets pinched in the sides of the armor, but if you just connect the upper half at the shoulders and neck, then there won't really be any fear of it falling off. It's one small issue, but it doesn't really hamper the figure itself. To finalize this one, you simply snap the two halves of the mask apart, place the helmet over the captain's face, and then connect the faceplate. It's really that simple. Once together, you can get Iron Man in some awesome, great, classic, iconic poses. The Iron Man costume set also includes the arm and wristbands to finalize Hawkeye's costume set. So let's say we take our partially dressed as Hawkeye Captain Action here and finalize this costume after a long wait. First, you pop the hands off. And then slide the armbands up into place. Then the wristbands, and then you pop the hands back on. And finally, you place the mask of Hawkeye over the captain's head. And now that we finally have the missing couple pieces to this costume, I have to say it really looks awesome. Now, this has been a long wait to have this costume completed, but it's been well worth it in the end. The mask sculpt here is perfect, and it is a great costume set once we have everything together. You can find these new costume sets at your local Toys R Us, as well as online retailers such as BigBadToyStore.com. They'll retail for $19.99, and let me tell you, they are well worth the price. So there you go, guys, a look at the Captain Action costume sets for both Wolverine and Iron Man. They're great costume sets. We'll put Iron Man down here for a second. I love Wolverine, and we talked about it in the review, but I love Wolverine's his claws, how they're a solid plastic on top of the pliable rubber that's used for the arms and for the hands here on Captain Action. The mask on Wolverine is pretty well done. I do like it a lot. The only drawback is that the eyes aren't painted. They didn't paint the eyes on any of the costume sets for Wolverine, so the eyes are just black. You could always fix that with a little bit of just some of the regular paint you can buy on Walmart. Some of that, not tester's paint, but some just regular little bottles and bins of paint, a little white. You can just dab it in there and fix it, and it should look pretty good. That's what I plan to do anyway. The costumes for these guys are, of course, for Wolverine is just your basic Lycra costume, and I love it. I love the belt. The new belt systems are nice because they're much less prone to pop apart than the old costume sets. With the old costume sets, you put the belts on, and sometimes the holes weren't big enough for the knobs to go through. Other times they just didn't want to connect, period. You had to widen the holes or do some funky stuff to it. This time the fact that the belts just basically plug into one another is very cool. Wolverine's a really great costume set, and I really do like this costume set. It's a great representation of a classic look for the character. And again, those claws, man, those claws are awesome. I love them. Sneak, sneak, sneak. A great costume set. And then, you've got Iron Man, who is really well done as well. Iron Man is where we really fall into the realm of I'm sad that the deluxe sets went away, because with the deluxe sets we would have got some extra hands. We would have got some extra heads, actually, instead of the, where you can just pop the front off and there's Captain Action's face. There was actually going to be another plug-in faceplate that was actually a Tony Stark face. There was going to be a different version of the Iron Man faceplate they were going to include. So it's kind of sad that we lost the deluxe versions and lost those. They do have the molds for those faces. They're done, so maybe eventually we'll see that those two Iron Man pieces released, maybe in a future costume set, maybe as part of the fan club. You never know. Again, I love the belts, the new belt system on these, how they just plug in, much easier to deal with. His suit's a little different. I mean, you still got the Lycra parts, of course, but then, like we talked about, you've got this harder fabric that is kind of stiff, kind of hard to get up over the body when you're trying to change him, and it really restrains the plastic chest piece, which is really done. It's a nice use of plastic on this figure to kind of, to give the figure, rather than just do it all fabric, they went the plastic piece, the molded plastic piece that connects to one another, which is really cool. The only problem is the suit really, like I said in the review, hampers the sides from connecting properly, so you can never really quite get the sides connected all the way. Not that there's any chance of them falling off, because I can do this and they'll stay, because as long as the tops are connected, the sides aren't going to matter. And depending on how you display your Iron Man, it really isn't going to, it's not going to hurt the display value of this figure at all if you display him with the costume on or not. Those are the only drawbacks to this costume set. With those small little gripes out of the way, I think that both of these costume sets are must-have for any Captain Action fan and collector. And not to mention, if you've been collecting the deluxe versions of the costume sets like I have, you have pretty much all of the Hawkeye costume set. So there's no reason not to go out and buy these, even if you don't like these two characters. There's no reason to not go out and buy these to finish off your Hawkeye, because the Hawkeye costume set is really cool. If I had a third Captain Action, we would show him as well at the end of this, but you've already seen it in the video, so you don't need to see it here, right? What's cool is it's nice to finally have new Captain Action costume sets, and to know that, in the future, very shortly, we're going to be getting DC costume sets, which I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Superman, I'm looking forward to Batman, I'm looking forward to Joker, I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff. some great stuff coming out from round 2 in Captain Action, and some great costume sets that are really worth having for, like I said, for any collector or fan. Go get these costume sets. Go to Toys R Us, go to your online local retail, I guess local retailers, they're not online, but go to your local Toys R Us, your favorite online retailer that carries Captain Action products from round 2, and order these while you can, because I guarantee you if you miss out on these, you're probably going to be very sad, because these are great costume sets. So that'll wrap it up for me, guys. I'm going to go decide if I want to leave Iron Man and Wolverine out, or if I want to put my Arctic Captain Action and my regular Captain Action back out. Real world problems, people. Real world problems. The decisions of a toy collector. Take care, guys. See you later.